Hi, I'm Bridget from Sydney Fish Market. Today we're going to be doing blue swimmer crabs. So these are your blue swimmers. The blue swimmer is the one that's got the lovely blue accents. So motley brown colour and lovely blue accents. So this is what's known as a green blue swimmer. That just means it's not cooked. So you ask for a green blue swimmer or a raw one. This one here, this is your cooked blue swimmer. And of course, when it's cooked, it goes bright orange. Now, is it a boy or a girl? How do you know? Turn it over and have a look. A boy crab has got the V shape. A girl crab would have a U shape, a much wider U-shaped flap. The other way you can tell from the top is the boy is a motley brown colour with lovely blue accents. The girl will just be a motley brown colour all over. But the interesting thing is the boys and the girls are often sold separately, and the girls are very often a little bit more expensive. And the reason for that is the girls that supposedly have a sweeter tasting flesh, and the more discerning palated people will pay a high price for the girls. What can you say? Just tastes better. The preparation for them both is the same. So let's go through how to prepare. Oh, we should cover the alternatives. Your alternatives for your crabs, of course, is you can use your mud crab, always bought live, and you want a lively mud crab. That's how you can tell it's any good. So that's your mud crab. Keep it covered on a damp paper towel and covered with a damp cloth. And the other ones are your bugs, so Balmain bugs and Moreton Bay bugs. These are all interchangeable in pretty well all recipes. How do you know if your crab's any good? What do you look for? Okay, what you are looking for is, first of all, it's got all its legs on, no cracked shell. You would like also no black markings around the joints. And a really important thing about all your seafood is a good fresh sea smell. It shouldn't smell fishy. If it does smell fishy, it probably is. Okay, now let's do the preparation. What we need to do, whether it's a male or a female crab, turn it over, lift up the flap, and just twist that part off. Put your thumb between the top shell and the bottom shell. It's easier always, I think, to do all of this by hand rather than trying to use a knife. Just carefully pull it across. Now, before you pull it off completely, scoop upwards, and you tend to take a lot of the guts and bits. Now, I shouldn't say guts and bits because a lot of people like to eat this, but if it doesn't appeal to you, you can scoop it up and then it all just stays in that top shell. If you're doing something like chili crab, say, and you wanted to cook that top shell, you can just pull all of this out. But there are lots of people that feel that that's a terrible waste because there's lots of flavour there, particularly here. The slightly creamy coloured liver, that's got quite a strong flavour and a lot of people like that. But if we just pull that out and clean out the top shell, if the eyeballs worry you here, just take them off. All right, now these little bits on the end, no meat in those, so let's just twist those off. Now we want to take out the gills. These are the gills. They're on both sides. They are only joined on the outside. So instead of pulling them off one by one, just run your thumb straight down the outside. Just takes the whole lot off in one go. It is a good idea to get these off because they can be a bit bitter if you leave them on. All right, clean out the middle bit. Now have a look at this. This part here, which can be cream, it can be more a khaki colour, it can be quite white sometimes. This is highly prized because it's got a very rich flavour, but sometimes people find it a little bit too rich. So it's up to you whether you want to leave it in or not. If you wanted to just do a half and half, you can take some of it out. Otherwise, you can just give it a quick rinse. Don't drown your crab under the tap, because if you do, you're going to wash away a lot of the flavour. So just a very quick rinse under the tap, otherwise just give it a pat dry with a paper towel. All right, now another really important thing when you're chopping up crabs. Put your chopping board onto a damp cloth or a damp paper towel, because crabs can be really slippery, and if you don't anchor yourself down, it can be very tricky that it can flip over off the chopping board. Spare gill there. All right, so what we want to do, lay the crab on the chopping board. Get a good sharp knife, and I like this one because it's long enough to keep the tip on the chopping board, which anchors it down. Then I can hold the knife and the crab all at the same time and crack through. Now with your blue swimmers, they're actually small enough that you can crack them. But we'll go through the process because the process for this is exactly the same if you wanted to prepare your mud crab. All right, now, chopping the last little bit, look at the natural slope of the crab, okay? Follow that. Don't do it this way where you go up over the top and then down, because your handle will hit the chopping board and you won't be able to get your knife all the way through. So follow the natural slope, go this way, get a good grip here and crack down. We're going to do one big leg and part of the body, and then we're going to do two legs and part of the body. Crack down fairly fast so that you don't lose too much meat. If you go slowly, it tends to push all the meat out of the flesh, out of the shell. And then the last thing we need to do is just get a crab cracker or a nut cracker and just crack your big claws, just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot. And it's just to let the heat and the flavour in. If you try and do it sideways, not much happens. So you do need to turn your crab claw this way so that you can actually get into it. But that just lets the heat and the flavour in. No preparation needed for the small legs. They are then ready to go into something like chili crab or straight onto the barbecue if you wanted to. So terrific salt and pepper salt and pepper crab. So lots of different things you can do with them. Do the same thing for the second side. That's it.